What is up, y'all? Manny, Carrera, your real estate resource, and this is episode number 34 of Whiskey Wednesday podcast sessions, where we sit with entrepreneurs, influencers, movers, and shakers over a glass of some fine whiskey. Today, we are going to be sitting with the creator of a brand new establishment on the east side of El Paso, Jake, the creator of TacoAvocat. What is going on, brother?
What's up?
Cheers. How are you?
Good.
Happy to have you on. Oh, let me take a sip. Hold on. We're drinking on some Jameson right now, right? What do you think about that?
It's good, man.
Yeah? Are you a drinker?
I don't, but Whiskey Wednesday I'll drink.
Whiskey Wednesday, you'll drink.
Yeah.
He actually pulls up right now to the house and just shouts out, Whiskey Wednesday? And I was like, yeah, you're here. Happy to have you on. Definitely really excited to have you on. You know, you guys have just opened up a restaurant out here in far east side of El Paso.
Fast food concept. True
Fast food concept, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself and go ahead and tell us a little bit about the business.
All right. Well, I was a pilot the first part of my work life, right?
Okay.
So I graduated high school, became a pilot, did that for 11 years. Was thinking about what I could do, and I landed on this idea.
Awesome.
And as I left aviation and planned my exit, I lived kind of a crazy life full of creativity and new things, and I planned it over the last 2.5 years, and now it's here. And
What were some of those things that helped you get that creativity?
I learned to hunt, I learned to surf, I changed my whole body composition. I went from just getting old, weighing, carrying too much weight, to being super young and athletic like I always felt I should be.
Right.
And it was through understanding nutrition and where food and where nutrition happen.
Right.
And now I've designed a company to keep nutrition intact and deliver it as fast as possible. That's what TacoAvocat is. It's a high-end, nutritious fast food product, minus all the bad stuff that your body can digest and get the proper nutrition out of.
That's awesome. With the convenience that you'd expect from
Modern everything. We have
Right.
touchscreen drive-through, we have touchscreen inside, we have online ordering coming, we have simple ways to order, and it's supposed to be lightning fast. As we get more volume, we'll be even quicker. Certain days it gets real busy, we have 10-second orders. People don't think it's their
Right.
food. Certain days
Really?
it's slow, we gotta make everything fresh. It's just, we gotta give that perfect product.
Right. And that's something that you kind of been learning, right, as you go. How long have you guys been open for right now?
So we opened December 2nd, so less than 3 months.
Wow.
And yeah, and we've changed the cheese 5 times. We've changed procedures daily. Right now, we just decided to add 2 new products. They're both going to be full vegan products. We don't even let them touch any animal, anything, and
Oils or
nothing.
grill.
No, of course not. And we're putting the pressure on to start cooking tomorrow and have them out next week for everyone.
That's exciting. I'm gonna be there. I've been waiting.
My whole team is.
I was actually there the first week. I pulled up to a drive-thru. I was like, "Hey, do you have any? What do you have that's not on the menu?"
And they didn't know at that time. We told
Yeah.
them our chips and our guac are fully vegan. All our dips are vegetarian.
No, he did actually tell me
Did
that.
he know that?
Yeah, because I did get.
Oh,
I
'cause it's
ended up
Victor.
driving off
Because
some
it was
stuff.
Victor.
I believe so.
Yeah, Victor knows. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Victor knows. Yeah.
And I actually mentioned the podcast to him, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, I'll talk to the owner. I'll talk to the owner."
Victor's doing all the TV stuff, so
That's
I don't
awesome.
do this.
That's cool. So, talk to me about your first 3 months. What are some of the you know, the ups, the downs that you've experienced in the first beginning stages of the business?
Right. Well, staring at Don Carbone's drive-through definitely gives us something to reach for.
Don
that
Carbone's
thing's just
right in front of
it's a revolving door, man. And so people can get frustrated watching that and not trying us. But I realize now I'm in the business of breaking habits.
Right.
People all want to do the same thing. They want to go home. They want to get their meal that they've always had. They don't realize how good and just perfect our process and product is, and it's sitting right there for them.
Right.
So we've slowly, business has been tenfold compared to that first week, but we're not where we need to get and or need to be, and we're going to get there with this, with the radio, and with word of mouth. Word of mouth's been our best because people love us.
Definitely.
Once they eat there, they love it.
Yeah.
And
That's the best type of marketing, right?
And it's so funny, like being creative, it's what makes me happy. And last week we had this woman come in, and she was almost like mad. She was like, "Why don't you have vegan proteins?"
Really?
And I told
it's becoming a thing now, right?
and she's like, she could tell my menu was laid out nicely, and there was room for an option for her there. And I said, "They're coming." I said, "I have 2 planned," but it really wasn't. It was kind of her sparking that, like, okay, it's time to pull the trigger on that.
Right.
And I told her they won't be proteins. I'll process your vegan in a different way. Nutrition comes from the earth. It's in the micronutrients in the earth. It's displayed in fruit and nuts and color, and we eat these things and we get these nutrients out, and the way they process food is what's killing us. They add soy, they add gluten, they add lots of refined sugar in everything, making it super addicting. So our food is going to give you a high quality protein and a high quality fat to keep you full. The vegan option we have is a high quality carb and a high quality fat, but it's nice and colorful from the earth, the chip, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you take the chip, or the potato, you slice it, you fry it in avocado oil, pink salt. Real simple, real healthy. That's enough processing of that food. When you take it and turn it into a powder and put it on a shelf in a box and all this, ship it all around, nothing's left.
Yeah, it's processed.
So it's the way you process the food. And we do the same with our proteins that are up there. Our best seller is beef. And I go get grass-fed beef knuckles and drop them in there to give you like bone broth and collagen.
Holy shit.
And people don't even know why it's healthy. We don't market that at all, but that's what...
But it is healthy?
Absolutely. That's the way I eat. That's the way that there's a lot of nutrients.
This is whose knuckles?
That's beef knuckle.
Beef knuckles.
This is for the beef only.
Okay, so
and the chicken.
That's just more for flavoring.
It's both. I mean, we taste nutrition.
Right.
That is true. We love a good steak. We love nutrition. We love fresh fruit. We love all this nutrition. I was just eating watermelon. I was eating a vegan meal an hour ago, 2 hours ago. I'll eat vegan. I'll eat fruit. I'll eat vegetables. I'll eat them all day. And you want those as close to their original state. You want them intact. You want them seasonal.
Right.
Eating seasonal matters. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I try and take everything in, and I try and bring products that are quick and appeal, and they'll make you feel good. Our chicken's 50-50 light and dark. Again, there's different properties to those proteins. You want them both. The carnitas is just a good quality pork, and we leave the bone in on some of those to get that same nutrition. You know what I mean? And that's a real good saturated fat. So all our proteins are really on par, and we're going to move on to some good vegan carb options next week. And I hope everyone trusts me to bring them and try them. I'm trying to build TacoAvocat, a brand you can trust. I got lots of ideas. It's just getting started. People come in, they want more. It's coming. I hear you. I see the Google searches, the vegan, the vegetarian. It's right there, so I'm going to bring it right away. I see that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm excited. My whole team's so excited, and I'm so happy when I'm being creative and having ideas.
Yeah.
And my chef, she's been through so much with me and dealing with me. We just had a chef quit yesterday, so it's hard to deal with, I guess. But she told me today, she said, "I will change it as many times as you want. I believe in your ideas."
That's awesome.
And it made me feel so good. And then her and my GM are just killing it. They're working all day again. They don't even care about anything other than getting this to you guys.
That's awesome.
And so that's what I love about this business. I got into it to just bring something healthy, and now I see I'm servicing the community, and it just feels good, man.
Because I think personally, like, just even introducing vegan options is something that a lot of people are really looking for. You said it yourself, you're seeing the Google searches.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
we see people come in and ask for it all the time. Yes, absolutely.
And I can tell you, in my, I have to eat vegetarian. Well, I don't wear the badge vegan. Obviously, we talked.
Yeah.
I eat cheese,
right?
On pizza, and that's my kryptonite.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, it's really hard for me to find those options. So when I do find any option, I'm just like ecstatic,
Yes.
So for you to really take that extra step and not just serve vegan, but also take that extra step and serve the healthy vegan.
Absolutely.
As you mentioned, there's healthy fats.
It's the way you process the food, and even my vegan options, I'll eat. I'll enjoy them. You know what I mean? They'll be that good. But yeah, it's so avocado oil in general is a healthy fat. We're starting to hear that term. We're starting to, go to it. So that's good. This took me 2 years, and I think the delay was good for me. I think that everyone kind of understands now what healthy fats are, but I take it one further and just think of this. Like I said, food, nutrition comes from the earth, right? So if you are going to eat fats, you would want them to come from the earth. So there's 3 kind of oils that kind of stand out: coconut, olive oil, and avocado oil.
Right.
And the reason those stand out is because those are cold pressed oils. They're making a chemical out of a chemical. They're taking chemicals, putting them with those seeds, and extracting a chemical, and they're calling it cottonseed oil, soybean oil,
right,
vegetable oil, palm oil, all these different
oils that you just mentioned are the most natural.
The ones that I just mentioned, the last 4 were
right,
bad, but the first ones I mentioned, the 3 that are good are coconut, olive, and we've always been heard that olive oil was healthy since we were kids. They've said that, and we didn't know. Just a simple way of thinking about it is, like I said, if it's cold pressed from the pulp, not the seed. So
right.
But anyway, so avocado oil, we're the first ones that I could find. I can't find anyone that industrial fries with avocado oil. So part of our biggest hurdles right now is learning that oil, and we know how it oxidizes, we know how free radicals are made, we know how to test it. We most oil just sits in there for like months until it won't fry anymore. And then they get rid of it. Exactly.
Fucking gross.
Ours, we're like monitoring like a baby. My GM is literally getting every bit he can, yet we're overly changing it right now. We're changing it a lot.
Prematurely, we
just have to. We have to give a good product, and we have to keep that oil healthy. Because it's a food. Yeah. That oil goes bad at a certain point, and we see it, and it's gone. And so it's just part of the cost, learning that. We're trying everything not to raise the price, but our few complaints are normally about price. And I gotta tell you, if it does go up, you'd rather pay for our food. You'd rather pay for a good quality protein and fat or carb and fat that'll fill you all day. Right. And you don't have to feel the other food, the sugar, the carb, the fake oil, they make you hungry. They make you want more food. That's what they've done to us. They've tricked us. I studied food processing. I studied where nutrition comes from. I felt it. I got healthy myself. I sought these things out, and now I'm bringing it to you guys. And I want you to trust me over the documentaries, over the other stuff. I want me to be the source, my brand that I build that people can come to and trust and be like, yes, it won't give me a bellyache. It's not gonna, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's something, and then also look for me to be the expert.
Right.
That's what I want to be. I want to be a health expert, but I don't want to go into the medical field. I want to be right here on, I like anti-aging. I like pushing human performance.
Right.
I like really doing that, and trust me, I eat my food. And when I'm not eating my food, I'm eating what food is. And food is simple. Food is fruit, vegetables, meat, maybe dairy for you, maybe not, and nuts.
Right.
And nuts and seeds are the same, and vegetables can be legumes, and there's all these different things, but it comes from the earth. And how you process it, there's several ways of how you digest the food, but you know how happy you are and how healthy you are matter. How much sunlight you get matters. How much sleep you get matters.
Right.
But it's also what you intake. That intake needs to be good quality so your body can process it. And you need to enjoy it too. So we try and make it a good place that people like to come to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you'll notice our employees are happy. Go to the other fast food places.
They're eating the food. That's like
right. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Right now we got a whole rolling team. I love entrepreneurs. I mean, you talked about this before a bunch. And Steve Jobs, just simple little things I get from different guys. He had a whole take on how the very inside of the computer that no one saw had to be pretty. And everyone thought he was crazy. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you right now, we have a bunch of vibrant teenagers that are sitting with their headphones on in flow state, rolling tacos all night, happy as can be. And they love their job. One of them just told me today she went to a job interview yesterday and she won't be taking that job and she loves her job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I had 2 employees just tell me how great it was.
What do you think it takes to really build that culture? Because obviously it's not just the food, right? They're not just eating and feeling great. I think there's a little bit more to that. What does it take to really build a culture? Because it sounds like you're onto something.
Well, I think I've built a good with my chef, Kelly Hawthorne. She's done amazing stuff. And then, of course, Victor, my GM. And kind of like you two, Matt, we were talking before, me and him kind of met by chance. He was leaving Papa John's, a corporation that just didn't take care of him. Mm-hmm. And we were instantly hockey buddies. So we knew each other from that. Hockey? So, I play hockey. And so we had this connection, and it just kind of rolled into this whole like partnership. Like he's really taken control of the parts I can't learn. Right. It gets to be too much. Just like we have Chef Kelly. Cooking gets to be so much I can't learn it.
Right.
Running the business, the day-to-day, it's really set up to where he can run it real easy, but since we process our own food, we're already doing 2 businesses.
Right.
So he can't just focus on marketing.
Because you're not just calling and waiting for the truck to bring some boxes.
Well, we're getting there, but as soon as we get those boxes, we have to process that stuff for days and days and days. So right now's food is fit and prep for next week.
Wow.
And that's how it always is. And the way you freeze that food, the way you chill that food, all this nutrition, like we said, matters. And even the way you cook the meat. You ever had like crock pot meat that turns into powder? You've never ate meat, Mark.
No, I haven't in a while.
So if you overcook meat, it just turns into powder.
Really?
It just goes away.
Like shreds,
shreds too much. Maybe. So that's overcooking meat. Grandma's kettle just going all day, whatever it is.
I think so. No.
So that actually lowers the quality of the protein.
Okay.
So you want that perfect, whatever it is, striations in the meat. You want the muscle to be somewhat intact so those proteins are there for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm a huge component of beef, you know what I mean? Red meat, super healthy, big fan of it. But if you're not, we got lots of great options for everyone. But that's me personally. I've had great luck with it. I got away from all the protein powders, all the supplements. Like
you just really took a step back from all the processed foods.
Yes.
Right? And started incorporating that now into the business that you're...
I studied food processing, and just like Chipotle does certain strides for factory farming,
right? I
think my fight is the processing. I met all the guys in the industry. I saw how it's done. I saw what works for my company, what doesn't. Part of the reason I think we have good employees too is we pay well, because have them cooking and filling orders and not just taking orders. And
working smarter.
And exactly. And as we get super busy and they raise minimum wage, we're ready for it. That's kind of the idea all along, is to take care of our people.
Dang, so you're already planning for future prices, because I think that's one of the...
I want it to be a franchise. It's always been planned to be a franchise deal, and all the processes we're designing can go anywhere. And
so you're just really building the systems right now,
exactly.
learning the product, and developing everything.
And then it changes. These next 2 products we didn't see coming. It was totally the people asking for it. And so even you today mentioned that, I was like, cool, man, because it's coming for you, you know what I mean?
So let me ask you, touching on that subject, what are some of the biggest misconceptions when it comes down to, vegans eating the vegan food that is out there? Is it healthy?
I hate soy. I hate anything that you can pick up the back of it and see too many things. If I pick up the back of something, I want to see 2 or 3 things I know.
Right.
And that's all I want to see.
Water and something else.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you're buying crackers.
Right.
It's going to have, like, 15 ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting the crackers back. I'm not going to eat those. Mm-hmm. And then, so, you know what I mean? Like, you don't eat bread? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what bread I eat. I don't eat it at the moment. But if someone brought me some healthy sprouted bread and told me the ingredients, I might try it. But it's the same thing. How's that going to digest? Yeah, food is made to digest well. It's made to, we got a lot of bad... Let me just go back and tell people one thing that hear this. 50 years ago, they could have blamed sugar or fats, and they blamed fats. And they've killed hundreds of millions of people. Sugar's the issue. When you eat sugar and you feel slow and you feel dull, that's an insulin spike. When you can't stay awake, I was flying the plane for 11 years trying to stay awake all night. When I switched to running on fats and staying up on fresh fruit, it was the easiest job of my life.
Really?
But when I was trying to stay awake on caffeine and soda for 10 years, it never worked.
Is that one of the hardest things to do, living off of that kind of diet, the caffeine and sodas? Because obviously that's everyone's go-to, right?
Yeah.
Energy source, pull over to the gas station, quick run.
I try and get people off. At our business, we're promoting water. We filter our own water, we brand it and sell it for 75 cents. And some people are like, I'm not paying for water. I'm like, if you go to the gas station, you're paying $1.50 for not good water.
Right.
You should buy my water, and you should trust us to give you a good product. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so we have that. But if you're inside, we'll give you a cup to drink free. But I want to promote water. Right. I want people to get that with their meal. I want them to eat a 3-pack, a dip, maybe a side, and water, and see how they feel. Because it's going to digest well. You're always going to have some pooling. That's where, like, the blood goes to your, you know what I mean? You're digesting. It's like, you need to... But if you drink black coffee and you have a task to go do, you'll be fine.
I love black coffee. That's all I drink.
There you go.
I literally have my first meal around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, which is probably bad, right?
Mm-mm.
We have some... No.
It's real healthy. I do it every day. Intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
The gut gets overtaxed. It's working all day, so you're better to eat in a little window, and that's a whole nother area of health. But same thing, doesn't matter if it's my product or any. If you're eating a high quality food in that small window,
right?
Isn't it better?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Because other people are doing
quality.
Other people are
right
eating crap in that window.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm still losing weight. And I'm like, man, but if you switch to a good fuel source, that's what meat is to me. That's why I'm pro meat.
Okay.
It's a good fuel source. That the processed stuff we were talking about earlier, any of the soy proteins, isn't soy made from like edamame or something? Like, do you know even? Exactly. How sad is that?
I go in with the trust. I go in with that trust of this is vegan, and
you can't trust it, man. You gotta. Well, but you can trust mine. And that's what I'm gonna build. I'm gonna build a brand you guys can trust.
But you know what? I think as long as you could build a business, if you could, any business that you can build off word of mouth, and the people's, reviews. Like we have one right here, right? We have Sosa. He's gone. He's eating there. How do you feel after you eat there? What do you think about TacoAvocat?
You're blowing my mind away.
I was gonna say, you said you loved it. You said you loved it.
I thought it was already great for the taste, and everything's been awesome. I'm excited to try everything on the menu. But the fact that you're telling me these things, I'm gonna eat there more often.
Thank you.
Chipotle used to be my go-to healthy type thing.
Chipotle's good. I'll give them a lot of props. I eat there. Yeah.
This is probably more for me. For sure.
I'm excited for next week.
Places. Yeah.
I'm excited for next week.
All right.
That's really cool.
You guys definitely could be the new category that competes against Chipotle.
Well, everything's made. Yeah. You guys don't even see how good it is. Once people know the touchscreen drive-through, once they know we can drop 200 tacos in 15 minutes for a party last minute. Once they know we can stay open till midnight or 3 a.m.
A lot of parties.
We're going to do all these things. We need the support. We need people going there. We need them frequent. We need them spreading the word. But we see it coming. Our bad reviews, like I said, are price, and we're trying to keep that price where it is. But if it goes up, I think people will still love it. And it shouldn't go up. We're really close there. But I'm just saying, with that oil, that is where we're at. No one's done this in the industry. No one's done it in the world that I can find. I study all these things. And
now, is this oil, obviously, is this what inspired the name TacoAvocat?
Yes. So the idea was already to fry in avocado oil, because I went from 220 inflamed pilot to 155. Maybe I could have been a pro athlete. Like, that's how quick my transformation was.
Really? What sport?
Well, I went keto, which most people know, and anyone looks into keto, I just tell them eat steak and avocado. That's like you're eating protein and fat. But then again, as you get healthy, you should be able to eat anything you want as long as it's a good processed food, not a fake food. So you should be able to switch back forward from carbs to fats to protein, whatever. Your body can just process food. So my food might look like processed stuff, but it's really this digestible product. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And then some people don't want the corn tortilla or something. Like, maybe someday we'll get to that. We got a lot of good ideas,
That's cool.
But right now the corn tortilla is great, and I eat them. I think the problem with corn is kind of like cheese, like you said.
Yeah.
You can end up eating it every meal. That's just where you go and where you eat. They're going to give you chips and cheese with every meal. It's like beans here, maybe. But
that's insane.
You can do it, and so that's where the problem arises. It's not that there's the oil to fry.
Yeah. What types of clients are you seeing right now going in? Are they only vegans? Like, you get a lot of people asking for vegans right now, but
we get a good amount of that. But no, we get a great mix.
Yeah.
It was designed for everyone. We definitely, looking at the social media, we have more of a female following, which is fine. But
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's helping us now, but I think long term, I've seen more police in there. I've seen a couple military. I think they'll start to see the value too. Because they're the same thing, they're high performers. We don't like turning off our brain. Our brain is 60% fat. So when you eat a high quality protein and a high quality fat, you're full. You don't have to be full here. You can use your abs all day. But if you're full here, you cannot think about food.
Right.
So when you eat a high quality protein and fat, you're going to be full up here. And I'm sure with our vegan prices, it'll still be the same way. I'm sure you'll be like, okay, I don't need a nap.
Me as a vegan, I'm already expecting to pay.
And you're already eating a bunch of carbs.
Yeah.
So your body can handle it.
Yeah, for sure. And I would love to be able to find something quick, because all the other vegan options that I have are, I have to order and it takes extra long to pick up.
Right.
I'm waiting 30 minutes, so that's really cool. Tell me a little bit about the area. Why that area? Why did you pick that shopping center? You're, in my opinion, and obviously you'll probably talk about this, but you're in one of the hottest areas, I think, in El Paso right now, right?
Well, I waited almost 3 years, I guess, technically, for that building.
You knew about that building for 2 years?
Yes, I was in there when Churches and Don Carbone signed the deal. I got in next, and they built both them first, and I was waiting to get mine, and I finally have it. And we're still dealing with parking issues and construction.
Right.
And as that ends, it'll help us. We have all these little things we're waiting on. But yeah, I've been waiting for that. The traffic's good. We just gotta flag them in. We gotta get them to try it. And then, like I said, once we get people to try it, they're always happy. They literally start laughing and smiling right away. It feels so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of your clients, repeat clients, they're coming in a lot.
We get a lot of repeat. And then some people do different stuff with it. Some people just buy tacos.
Right.
And they're not buying any dips. They're like, nope, we're doing the dips at home. You know what I mean?
It's like, no, just try to make
grandma's doing dip, whatever. They're too expensive, whatever. We don't care. It's our and then other people, we've had people just come get the dip. And they're like, we're making nachos. We want your guys' queso. We're like, all right.
Wow.
Works for us.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. So what would you say are some of, your biggest, I guess, accomplishments up to this 3-month mark that you've kind of learned, kind of maybe an aha moment that you've had? And
well, this week is in my head, this aha moment, and that woman bringing up the proteins.
Okay.
Because again, I didn't want to put tofu or some protein I don't approve of.
Right.
So we're gonna have a whole new little menu area, and that's all I want to say right now. I want the pressure to bring in. I want people to look for it. And our menu expansion is coming, and it's kind of planned out, and we start cooking tomorrow, and it made sense because I don't want to misrepresent what we're serving. I want it real simple.
You want it to be right.
It's got to be. See, when I started it was you take a protein, dip it in a fat, you're full. Mm-hmm. And so I got that to the people, and it's there, and they like it. But now we can expand on that. Now we can teach them about carbs and label it so, and just let people pick what they want. And then if you are going to drink soda or beer, let that be your carbs.
You guys have beer?
No, but you can take ours.
There's beer next door, right?
You can take it, yeah.
You can take it anywhere.
We do. We serve the bar next door.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are running a Don Carbone too?
I don't know, but either way, that bar is going to be served by us. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So talk to me a little bit about your background. I mean, do you have any background in running a fast food?
No, definitely not. So I ran an airline pretty much with my family, and I did everything. I was chief pilot. I was rated airline captain. I was flying a 100,000-pound jet to Mexico and up to Detroit.
Really?
We did the maquilas, the plants down in Mexico. We do auto parts for Ford, Chrysler, and GM. Awesome. So you get a call, you have an hour and a half to get airborne, go fly a plane down to Mexico City, Monterrey, somewhere, Saltillo maybe. I can name a bunch of places. But you grab that freight, you take it up to Ford, Chrysler, GM, and you normally go to Chicago, Detroit, maybe somewhere in Ohio, maybe New York. It just depends, but you go to an assembly plant with it. And so I did that, and I made manuals, I did training with the FAA, manuals with Homeland Security. I did a lot of hard things that I thought, you know what I mean, kind of polished me, but then we're going into a whole new industry.
Right.
So when I hit these roadblocks, I found experts, and I didn't need them much. I built the whole building, I found an engineer when I needed it, I found creative when I needed it, I had... the logo designed with a creative team. I had the building, the interior design. Tanya, Don Carbone helped me with that. Just little things like that I would find that I need help with. Right. And then once I got to where it was time to open, then I needed a chef. And I went through a couple chefs, really just not seeing eye to eye, nothing negative, but just they weren't looking for this.
Right.
And Chef Kelly was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Victor was just everything in between. Victor's like I said, there's really nothing we can't handle, and it gets better every day. So these next products are a combination of all three of our ideas.
That's awesome.
And our knowledge. And
so you're letting them
off. Oh yeah, no, they love it.
This, right?
Oh yes, they love it.
That's
they were talking about yesterday, and I know to get out of their way when they're working, and I know, you know what I mean? I know how to lead in a better way. At first I wasn't on their ass, but I was just not coming about it. You know what I found? I don't think it was Gary Vee, but it was an entrepreneur, and they said you have to come at them with love.
Yeah,
and that changed
that sounds so good.
It wasn't him though, but I can't remember who it was. But that sounds like something he'd say, right? Mm-hmm. But I just started a week ago, and I swear everyone's happier. it just trickles down so quick. And I'm never mad at them. They always know, but there is a new task at hand.
Yeah.
And we need to get on it right away.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what this was. When that lady gave me that idea, I went and set all my stuff up, and I gave them all theirs, and they're rolling quicker than I even thought they could. And they're stoked to get it out to you guys. So
that's really cool. Well, we're really excited to try it. I'm fucking pumped.
That's the entrepreneur thing. That's the, like I said, when I left aviation, I set these trials for myself. I was like, I'm gonna learn to surf. I'm gonna get I got an NFL, ex-NFL guy to CrossFit. Not really CrossFit, but just body development movements. Okay. And that's what I really got into. So I spent all summer surfing, training for the bow, for the hunt, and developing my body for this whole big thing that I thought was going to happen right away. And that building kept taking forever. Yeah. So I went through all these different things, man.
So walk me through that moment where and correct me if I'm wrong, you just went through this point in life where you just wanted to get really healthy. Mm-hmm. You started eating very clean. But at what point did you say, I'm going to start now a business?
Right. Okay. So that was after my third daughter was born.
What happened?
It was just like an epiphany. It was just that moment. I was done with this part. I'd done aviation as far as I could take it. My next option with aviation was to go work for a corporation, an airline, for 30 years. And that was all my friends' dreams. All the captains I worked with are flying at great airlines and they love their job, but that wasn't mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to me, I'd done everything. So I had this taco idea, and then I had this health twist to it. And then we talked a little bit before this about the name. But the name came together because it was fast food mixed with upscale. So avocat is French for avocado. So taco screams fast food. Right. And avocat says, but we're a little upscale.
Yeah, because you're not avocado.
Exactly.
Right? It's avocado.
Exactly. Right. So, yeah, and then there was some French guy told me it's avocado. But,
you're like, just... but we already ordered the sign.
Well, I'm happy. That's what it is. And so even that, you know, because that's before you have the logo. That's before... All you have is this little idea, and then I created the company. Mm-hmm. And so when she was born, I stopped eating sugar. I heard somewhere that sugar is bad, and it was like that aha moment where I was like, F sugar, right? I won't even touch it, and I didn't touch it for like a year.
Really?
And my whole life changed. And then I'm super into, you know, I'm a high performer. I use my brain all the time. I love thinking. I love being creative, all these different ideas. And so when I got sugar out of my life and I started putting fats into my body, my brain just lit up. And I could think clear, and I planned my exit from aviation. It took like 6 months to get out of there. And then this building delay killed it, and it just caused a bunch of issues, but I got through them. And we got it here December 2nd of 2018 we opened.
So how long after you put your 6 months to that 4-year wait, right. How long was that wait in between?
So it was a 2-year wait in between. And it was... Yeah, it was a 2-year wait from, I had my daughter, I think she was born, I should know this, of course, I gotta think of it. She was born January.
Okay.
So it was that December, so not quite 2 years.
Dang.
Yeah.
So what was happening in those 2 years? I feel like this is like a time advantage, right? Because it's like, I have 2 years to really get this right.
Yes. So... You know, first thing I did was I went to California and learned to surf all summer. Nice. And I just went deep into anti-aging and being healthy and getting cold. Simple stuff like going out in the cold. I'd be out at like 4 a.m. like waiting for the sun to come up, being by the ocean, exploring, climbing mountains. I got crazy.
Sounds very spiritual.
It was super spiritual. I got into yoga. I got training with that trainer. And then what I really fell in love with was the bow. Shooting the bow is the perfect flow state for me. Flow state is that moment where you lose time. One guy described it as when you forget to go to the bathroom or eat. And the happiest people on earth, we find the most flow state. And the bow was just giving it to me, man. And I just would shoot that bow with such passion. I would shoot it all day, and I would train for the hunt. And then back to that nutrition. So when you understand the food comes from the earth, right?
Right.
So it's prepped in the vegetables, it's prepped in the fruit, and then the animals come and eat that, and they prep it another level. So there's certain like B12, B in general, K, all these different ones. They're more bioavailable, and they're most bioavailable in the organs. So when you eat, my buddy Jake, his wife grew up in Germany, and she had an iron deficiency. So here you have an iron deficiency. They're like, you need sleep, you need this pill, you need whatever you need, right? Something.
Right.
But they really don't. So they told her, eat a pig's liver. And she ate a pig's liver and it went away. And so every year they would eat a pig's liver. And it's the same thing where every year you
And it would help her for the whole year?
Yes. And so listen to this. So 2 months ago, my mom's dog is dying. We're watching this dog die. It's got that twisted stomach. It's a little chihuahua.
Oh.
And it can't walk. It's like hobbling, right?
Oh, man. Yeah.
It hadn't went to the bathroom. I was outside in the backyard working out every day and just chilling in the sun. And I didn't see this dog any new bathroom. I'd cleaned it. There was no bathroom going on at all. And that dog was going to die. Mom was like ready to take it to the vet. She wouldn't do it. So I thought out, I had a little bit of last year's kill, a little bit of backstrap and a little bit of liver.
Right.
And I cooked it up for her. And that dog she went, "Arr!" and, screamed. Okay. She ran outside, went pee, came back in, chilled for a minute, ran outside, went took a shit, comes inside, takes a nap, goes back outside barking all night. Literally, that dog, that was 2 months ago, that dog's alive, its stomach is fine, that liver healed its gut. And that's what that dog needed. Didn't need the processed crap it'd been eating all along. It needed some real high quality nutrition. And that liver, it's the most bioavailable, the proteins, the iron, the whatever you look up, you can look into these things. And then you can even try it on yourself. You can see all these things. And if you're real disgusted by a liver, don't eat a liver. Don't eat a liver. But if it sounds appealing and maybe you worked your ass off for a year and hunted and killed that thing and then you accepted that nutrition, maybe then it would do something amazing. But it all matters, man.
That's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about this because I'm really excited to talk about it. The whole hunting part. Obviously, I'm vegetarian, vegan.
Right.
The only thing I do eat is cheese, as I mentioned right now. But one thing that I could tell you for sure is that I've mentioned it on the show actually is that I do respect the hunters that will appreciate the process, the animal, not somebody that's just gonna go and put all these things in line and just fucking slaughter them.
Hunting is so amazing. So I grew up and I grew up like a city boy, basically. Even though there's a little bit of woods around, I basically went my whole life till I was 32 avoiding nature. And then when I went out to the ocean, well, even before that actually, so you asked the aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
After my daughter was born, at some point, like a couple months after, I wasn't ready to hunt. I just bought the bow, but I went out in the woods for 4 days, totally fasted on water. And it gave me so much mental clarity, and it just, there's this thing called autophagy where all these old cells die, and it was just a new me. And that energy and that, it gave me so much life, and yeah, that was one aha moment for sure. So getting out into nature and seeing this, it was like I could be on an adventure my whole life out there. Like I could never figure it all out. And I was just a boy in the woods with his bow. And I was so fucking happy, dude. I'd never been that happy. I've been working for the airlines. I've been doing high stress my whole life. I became a dad. I'd done all these things. I hadn't done anything for me. So when I found the bow and it brought me out into the woods, I discovered this whole new world.
For 4 days.
For 4 days. That was the first time. I've been out there a lot, but that was the first time. And there was a camp, and there was... Actually, no, there was no one there, but there was at least a safe spot. It wasn't like I was crazy, but I was exploring all day. The guys were mad because I was on the trail cam walking around in just my shorts because it was 100 fucking degrees out, scaring the deer. And I'm not supposed to do that. I'm like, I don't know, And they're like, there's rattlesnakes everywhere. I'm like, nope, didn't know that. I don't know what I'm doing.
Some sandals just fucking here.
Yeah, I was. I didn't know what I was doing out there. Yeah, I was barefoot at times, and but it got me real healthy. It got me real energized, and I learned all about this world. And then, like I said, when I went to California, the bow kind of got me excited for that hunt. And then so I got back that fall hunting season, and that's what I was back for. I was back to hunt. And I went out there and failed miserably for 6 weeks.
And I
missing all kinds of stuff.
What are you hunting for out there?
Deer, white-tailed deer. And I guess you can kill mule deer too, but it was mostly white-tail I was seeing. And yeah, I was just, missing and self-sabotage, being loud, not really being into the hunt. And so I realized flying, I flew on call up all night, 50-year-old aircraft, through mountains and thunderstorms in Mexico. So it was a very hard, very demanding job, right?
Yeah.
Very high
When you say
functioning.
50-year-old aircraft, is this like a sketchy aircraft? Or
No, it's an awesome, beautiful
Okay.
aircraft, but it doesn't have all the tech the new stuff does.
Right, okay.
You've got to actually fly.
Especially going through the mountains. Like
Yes, and if anything, I would tell my wife at the time, it was more, you should feel safer that the plane's been vetted that much. New planes crash all the time. Literally, brand new Gulfstreams, just a couple of years ago, the test pilots, everyone died just doing a test flight in a brand new plane that's been engineered with the best science we have. But the old plane I flew has had so many crashes, they found all the things and fixed it.
Yeah.
They fixed it all with maintenance, you know what I mean? So anyways, it was a hard job, and it got me to where I love to function and use everything. And when I was getting dropped off at the blind by my buddy in a truck, and wait until sunup, sitting there with my coffee, it just didn't, I didn't have the urge, I couldn't go through with it, I was self-sabotaging, I couldn't figure it out. So I came up with this night mission idea. And to make it work, I needed no help, so I couldn't afford a truck, so what I did was I bought a mountain bike. And I went out there and I drove my mountain bike all over for like a week, man. I was out there by myself for like a week mapping it all out. And I went home and I would get up at midnight. I would take a few hours sleep, just like I used to do at the plane. I would get up at midnight. I'd drive out there 4 hours to Fort Stockton. I'd get on my bike, pitch black in the dark, surrounded by predators. All you see is these little eyes of scorpions, spiders, and then you're just cruising out there on my bike, 20 miles. Yes, and there's a lion out there somewhere too. There was a lion snatching up all these.
Did you tell your wife all this stuff?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know what she thought. Tell me she's gone now, but yeah. So I, and I got out there, and I first time got it, and I was home at 8 o'clock with a deer.
Really?
And I
How did you take it home?
So
On a bike.
I quartered it,
Okay.
and then I brought it home.
Nice.
Yeah,
Smart.
and it was a
Cheers.
task. It was a task. Cheers.
Cheers to you. That's cool. That
That's one of
sounds.
the
Yeah, I did.
This is on YouTube?
Well, I quartered it watching a YouTube video right as I did it, and the first time I killed it, it was very. You talk about spiritual or emotional, or there was a million different things. My heart's pounding. I have it all on film. I couldn't believe it. It was warm. This animal gave its life for my family. My daughters ate heart fajitas and loved it, and still talk about it. My little baby was chewing on the deer leg. Like, that deer is part of our family. So again, we talk about the vegan or so there's been these Netflix specials, and some of them maybe touch on some good points, like factory farming.
Right.
Factory farming is an atrocity.
Yeah.
These animals don't get to live.
No.
Okay?
They're fucking born to
So
die.
why would that nutrition be that great? It wouldn't be that great. It'd be
rushed.
pretty shitty nutrition,
Processed,
right?
yeah.
And then you look at this animal that's out there in the wild, and it's getting cold, and it's running up and down mountains, and it's finding berries up here, and it's finding this barley down here, and it lives this whole life and has this experiences. And then so imagine eating that and accepting that nutrition. And people would say that's heinous or something, maybe. Go out there and live in the wild.
No, bro.
Spend a week in the wild. See, dude, they don't care, dude. They will take you out. If you, a dead carcass. Yes, dude, I'll see a dead carcass of a deer that was killed for whatever reason. It's just sitting there. And then I drive by it, and I drive back that night. All kinds of possums and skunks. They're just eating it down to nothing. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
The wild don't care. It's just taking care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I definitely, like I said, I appreciate that. I guess that's where
the bones come into my business. To add that nutrition that you don't get, because that animal should be grass fed. I can't afford that meat. This meat is so it's not cheap meat. Trust me, it's very good meat. But of course,
quality wise,
exactly, it's the best I can get. Probably factory farmed.
Right.
But then I add the nutrition. The bones are in there. The white and dark is in there. We do stuff to make sure that if you're going to eat meat at our place, it's the best quality meat we can get you. And that's where I'm at with it. And that's why I'm getting into food processing. Because someday I'll be able to grass-fed those animals. And someday I'll be able to, you know what I mean? But I got to get there.
Yeah.
So that's my first step, is to kind of like, I call it hacking the food. But we We do a little, I like biohacking, I like anti-aging. You control these little variables to get more out of your body and stuff. And we do the same with our food.
Taking every little piece of.
And I'm sure I'll do the same with these vegan products as I get more and more of them. You know what I mean?
That's really cool. That fucking story is insane. You literally just made me think in my calendar up here, like, when can I afford 4 days to just fucking hang out in the fucking woods?
We want to hang out with you. That was a cool story.
Dude, like, next time you go, let me know.
I didn't even kill this year. I went this year, and I literally can show you the pictures right now, but I just stared at deer. I was out there 5 times. I didn't take a single shot.
You just went to scare them?
I just wanted to see him and be around him. I love him, man. It's
awesome.
It's so funny because it's like, there's a little fox, but look at.
Now, let me ask you this.
Just to get that close to them. People don't even get that close to them. You have to be quiet for hours. Yeah. When I rode up to this is like probably 9 o'clock. When I rode up to this, I walked up by myself, nice and quietly, and there was a deer standing right there. Mama deer, whatever, a doe. She was standing right there. Here's my blind, 10 feet away. Here's her. I just walked up like this. I looked her right in the eyes, and I went, like I made a little noise of some sort, and she let me walk by her and then went right back and would have let me kill her. And so that's some kind of connection the hunters can't even understand.
Because it's like a respect too, right? I don't think...
It's like a connection. I don't know. It's the same way we probably got wolves on our side at some point. But it's like... I don't know. That's what hunting is to me. It's this whole world and this whole experience that I can't get anywhere else, and I love it. It makes me feel whole, and I feel grounded, and I'm back to myself every time, and I keep needing it. And so I didn't have all the things that I could do to hunt this year, but I at least got out there and spent some time out there, and it felt so good.
Just to be out there.
Just to be out there. And then even there's certain like hunter products that are to cover your smell and stuff. And I don't do that at all. I don't do any of that stuff, and they don't spook away from my smell. I think it's because people are eating too many Slim Jims and beer and just bullshit, and they stink.
It's crazy because
they just stink.
The foods that you eat, even like onions and garlic and all that stuff, does seep through.
And I think they're okay with that. I think it's real food, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, the deer just come to me. They don't care. I would literally, when I was riding my bike, I'd ride up right next to a deer and stand next to it 5 feet. I ended up buying a spear thinking I was going to spear one. That's like its own story. I was getting out where the lion was, and I was trying to bring him out with this ball. I wanted to kill that lion.
You saw the lion?
And I seen him on trail cams. And he's a nocturnal lion. He never came out for me. And it's funny because I was talking to this girl yesterday, and she was talking about Africa, and I think it's because I mentioned this lion to her, and she was thinking Africa. But there was this lion out there, and it distracted me for a while, and I was trying to hunt it because it's that same thing. Remember I told you, okay, the earth has the nutrition, the plants bring the nutrition up, the animals eat it. Okay, well, the predators eat that animal, and they bring it to a whole nother level. And so I really wanted to eat a lion's heart. Because the organs, the heart, and the liver is where it's most potent, where it's most bioavailable. But again, people would think that's probably bad. This lion is eating these big giant elk. We're finding these remains. He's eating this red stag. He's eating all these horrific kills right in my area. That was mine. I was going for it.
This is the most fucking intense podcast. I'm like, oh my god.
I feel like I'm holding back.
No, don't hold back. This is crazy. I honestly I'm not shy to the fact. I used to eat meat. You know?
Right, of course.
I've been like this for 4 years, but I love the steak. I love Chick-fil-A. You know, I love all that stuff.
Chick-fil-A is a shyster because they say peanut oil and then they use the canola on their fries.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah,
it's bullshit. That's a lie. Yeah. Don't do that because I think even the peanut's better because again, it's pressed from the peanut.
Right. That was actually when I was working there.
Yeah.
Which was a long time ago. That's all we would really sell.
But the peanut's a legume, so I don't think it's quite a fat. It's just a liquid.
Oh, okay.
It's still gonna be a carb, I think. But I don't know enough about that. But I'm just it's a lens. If you look at food. It should be, so like, okay, how about, let's look at food for a minute and talk about hormones, right? Okay. So if you take a piece of fruit or a nut, you don't need a hormonal response. You can eat that raw fruit, you can eat that nut, they're great snacks.
Right.
Okay? Now you take a legume like a bean or rice or something that grows like right down here, it's a starch, potato. Okay. It needs prepped. You need to cook that potato to make it digestible.
Right.
Almost
fucking hard.
Almost like a meat or something. So again, when we start to look at food and see, so now look at the food you're eating. Can you tell where that came from? We just mentioned soy. It's like no one even knows what that is.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's like
sure.
Some fucking mystery.
Yeah, so, I mean...
It's not even on the dictionary.
How did that get to that plate? That's just a good thing to do, you know, mac and cheese. Everyone loves mac and cheese. Sorry, man, I don't like those powders. I don't care how you make it. I don't care if you put it in a muffin. I don't care if you put it in a mac. I don't care where you put these powders. I don't digest them well. I don't feel good energy off them. I avoid them.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about that. Let's talk about energies.
Okay.
I mean, what do you said that you got into yoga, right?
Yeah.
Out there while you were surfing and kind of being one.
Yeah, I mean, back to that flow state.
Right.
Getting that, I've also heard it like removing from oneself, where you're not thinking, getting out of your head. That's kind of what yoga did, but yoga also, I do hot yoga, so that's also helped me with skin. Everyone needs to understand, you don't heal your skin by lathering it with lotion.
It covers.
You're going to stop the response of healing it, right? So I found the best way, especially in the high desert. We live in the 4,000 foot elevated high desert. We're very acidic. We're getting drawn out. We need to have a constant seal of our skin. So I find you need to sweat.
Yeah.
And with the air conditioning, sure, you just need to sweat. You need to cause that organ, your skin, to sweat. And then there's a lot that goes into that, the reason why I say that. But just for simplistic, let's just say sweating makes a nice seal. It makes a nice barrier, right? And when that barrier is weak or you're acidic, like they're trying with the alkaline water, I don't believe in alkaline water either. I believe the way you become less acidic is by eating fruit and vegetables. You ever bite into a pepper and it like explodes water? Yeah. That's water cells that your body needs all throughout it. Okay. So we live in the desert. Let's eat fruit. Let's eat the water. Let's eat vegetables. You know what I mean? Let's over drink water. We're probably going to be in air conditioning all day, and if we were outside all day, we'd probably have to drink a lot more water. Yeah. But it's tricking us. Right. So we probably need to force drink some water.
Yeah, because I think we're all sitting here in 70 degrees.
And then last, you need to sweat. Right. So when I'm playing hockey or doing yoga or I'm sweating a lot, I'm definitely my happiest, healthiest self, and I have the best skin.
You know, I completely agree, because when I was out there in Miami for 4 years...
Yes.
That humidity. I never bought cream once, not lotion once. Yeah. I literally would wake up, and I was a little dry because I had the AC at 65.
Right.
Open the balcony door. I was just nourished. My skin felt so healthy. I loved it. Yes. And then I moved back, and it lasted for like a good month. Yes. And then after a while, I was like, oh my God, I'm dry as hell.
I tell everyone, you need to go recharge at the ocean. The ocean's like this amazing filter.
It is.
Just being in the ocean for a week, people are like, come back so happy and healthy, and they just can't figure out why. It's just healing, man. Yeah. All the bacteria. Dude, I know a lot about everything. Just even
that's fucking insane.
Yeah, what was that question though? We were talking about skin. It was nutrition or something.
We're talking
about the different. Oh, energy. Okay, energy. Yeah. Okay. So the energy you get off the food, I guess, is what I was talking about. But you were talking about more spiritual.
Yeah, spiritual. I mean, I feel like just you describing that whole hunting.
Yes.
It
brought something out of me. It changed me.
And then also just kind of what your diet now has kind of done for you. Right. Talking about the airlines and how it was so hard for you to live off the coffee and energy drinks
and the fake food.
Yeah.
All you have is the McDonald's, the Burger King, the Chick-fil-A, whatever it is, the fake food that's made to brand it and look like real food.
Right. Yeah. So how does that spiritual connection with nature and how does the food that we eat all tie into that spiritual one, I would say?
Like I said, we run off this earth. It doesn't matter whether you're standing barefoot, getting grounded on the earth, getting the ions off the earth, or if you're eating the nutrition from the earth. Right. They go together. So we just run off this earth. It's a big energy source. And again, let's just talk about what's left. McDonald's had these French fries 70 years ago, and now they've farmed that land so much that they pump it full of chemicals just to create a product.
Yeah.
They're creating this potato, but there's no nutrition left. The nutrition from the earth is gone. And they use a chemical to make it grow.
Yeah.
And so then you take that and fry it in the bad oil and all these different things. And so there's just no energy left from the earth in those foods. And they might give you a quick little like nourishing feeling.
You feel full.
It quickly goes away.
Right.
You get angry. You're tired. You need to chill out.
And I can tell you that's one of the reasons why I stopped eating. And maybe it was just obviously my decision. And the places that I was going to. But that's really how I felt. I was tired of feeling tired after I would eat. And after I would eat, I was just like in a bad mood. And I started paying attention to my energy levels too. And I was like, I feel like a lot of people feed off of my energy, but when I'm full, I'm giving off some bad shit that people don't want to be around, you know?
Right on.
So that's one of the reasons why I stopped eating meat. And I can tell you for sure, I've been doing it for 4 years, and I feel great. Like I feel healthy, and it's part of it's because of that involuntary, I would say, intermediary fasting that I do.
Right.
And I say involuntary because I haven't even eaten today. I'm hungry. It's been busy, you know?
Dude, I'll go a whole day. I did a week fast 2 months ago.
Really?
Yes.
So how often do you do that to kind of reset?
It just depends. I stopped. It doesn't matter whether I'm working out. It doesn't matter whether I'm fasting. I just listen to my body. When I go to work out, I'm looking for an intensity. I'm looking for a body connection. I see people in the gym and they're doing reps and they're counting and I don't do any of that. I'm like playing. I'm like a kid.
Listen to your body.
I'm like, hey, I'll start doing something hard. Hey, I wonder if I can lift this over my head. Hey, I wonder how many times I can do it. I might count out of just habit, but I'm not picking a number. I'm not, you know what I mean? So I've really gotten to listen to my body, and that's what I really tell people with my food. Listen to how you feel after you eat my food. And do it days on end, and then go experiment with other foods. And you should be able to tell the difference between being full and satiated versus an insulin spike where you're like fighting to stay awake. Where you like cannot stay awake. That's what would happen when I was flying the plane. I'm trying to land the captain or the Evan Jazz captain, but I was falling asleep just from trying to stay awake.
Feelings
terrible,
ever, right?
Terrible, man.
You're in control.
Yes.
I'm fucking scared sitting in the back of the plane. I could imagine you in control.
Yes.
That's crazy.
No, staying awake's hard, man.
So Jake,
especially when you're unhealthy.
What would you say, like, what kind of advice would you give somebody that would want to maybe try fasting? Maybe is curious about feeling different.
Yes. Okay.
What's a good fast or something that somebody could try?
Well, to start, you need to detach from food. That's a mental commitment we all need to make. We need to stop being addicted to food every 5 minutes. We have stored energy all over our body. That's all fat is. When you have an insulin spike, they say store some energy. So we need to get rid of those. We need to use that energy up, get rid of the fat. And so you do that actually by eating fats. So again, when you eat my food and you eat a high quality protein, high quality fat, you're going to feel full and you're going to have that energy to do so.
Right.
So you want to start eating that way first, I would say. And then naturally, you're probably going to want to fast. And then if you're not going the fat protein way, maybe you're going a more whole food way, which is I think what you do. And you end up eating more fruit and vegetables. You end up having a higher quality. So you have a good quality nutrition when you eat. And so just the quality of the nutrition when you decide to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Focusing on the quality, not so much the quantity, right?
Yes.
Dude, I have days off like once or twice a month.
Yeah.
And those days off, I'll hang out and I'll hang out with my girlfriend or something. We'll go out to eat, and we're literally eating when I'm with her. Breakfast, snacks, lunch,
You're eating all day.
Snacks, dinner, and after breakfast, I go
right into fasting mode when that happens. That's what happens with my daughters. My daughters are very good, and we have little things we'll do like, hey, okay, we get all our fruit, right? And I'll be like, what color are we missing? And maybe we're missing purple or red, and they'll know, and they'll go grab a color we're missing.
Wow.
And they'll try and get fruit every time, but sometimes we'll.
How many colors are they aiming for?
Yeah, never count. I'm against counting. We had a lady just the other day asking about calories, and I said, you're welcome to count. Every taco has a full ounce of meat. To one tortilla. You should be able to figure that out. The simplest matzah mix we can find. We have them locally made. And just simple ingredients. And so you should be able to count if that's your thing. But if you eat a high quality protein and fat, again, even a high quality carb, I bet you just feel full. And I bet you'll get a bunch of stuff done. I bet you'll have more energy and you'll start burning more energy and you'll get in a better state. And it just is a natural thing. And I think that the carb counting, some people say they need it. I think most people it's a detriment. I think you're adding a stress.
Right.
I think you don't need that stress. I think you need a high quality food and stop thinking about food.
Okay.
And that's the way I go with it. So I'm really against the calories. People should feel full.
Yeah.
When you eat my food, you feel full. It's not a trick. You know what I mean? Like, don't
It's a
get me wrong.
good full, right? I love to say after a meal, like, oh, this is a good full.
Right, but I mean, I can see guys sit down and eat 6 or more sometimes, and they get real full. But you don't have to. You can literally eat 3 in a dip and just feel full.
Yeah.
And just let it take.
And I think too, isn't that
feel
kind
full
of
for hours?
Isn't that kind of society here in the United States and how we were kind of growing up? Because you talk to people from other countries, and their meals are 100% smaller from ours.
Well,
so
they're real food.
Yeah, it's
even
real
if
food.
they're eating beans and rice, they're processing it and eating beans and rice.
It's quality, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, no, and you mentioned you were addicted, or when you went vegan. Okay, so a lot of the places they'll give you this little thin. Let's say you're eating a burger, right?
Right.
You get a little thin line of protein. And that protein's full of MSG, filler. It's not even a good protein.
No.
It's a ground full of crap, right? And but that's your little bit of protein they're trying to give you. Now wrapped it in a bunch of carbs, give you a carb side, and then give you a carb drink.
Right.
And that's all they give you.
And then you take a nap.
And then you take a nap and you feel like shit. You get bad energy, like we said. And so, again, just knowing this and I'm trying to market it, I'm trying to get it to the people, but it really is an amazing product and it speaks for itself. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing how I don't even have to, once they try it, it's a done deal. And so that's just what my fight is, the food processing area. I'll get into someday, if I'm as successful as I hope, I'll get into all the areas of it, and we'll control the meat and all these things,
and put out a better quality product.
Absolutely, the quality of the animal gives you the quality of the product, and the quality of the people serving it, and the happiness of the environment, and everything's there, and we're creating it every day. You're
creating these systems, you're creating this product, and you're creating this environment too. And obviously, one of your goals is to franchise, right?
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit more about that. Where do you see TacoAvocat going in the next 5-10 years?
Right. So right now we have lots of ambition and ideas, and it could go a lot of different directions. But even what we have at its core right now could be done very simply anywhere, because I made it fit into the modern food system. If you were to go fully organic, farm to table, if you were to go even Chipotle where they do their own cattle and all, it would be something I couldn't have tackled.
Right.
But the fact that mine fits into our modern food system, and I'm a pilot, right? So you put the mask on first. So I think if we get people this good nutrition and they start getting healthy and they start feeling good and they're losing weight and they're moving around better and they're getting out in the sun, they're happier, I think that's my fight. Right. And I fit that right into the food system because the companies we use and the products we use could be replicated anywhere.
That's awesome.
And so that's part of the vision is, but those are a long ways away. But I hope it's there. The product, the branding's good. Everyone loves my branding. I get that a lot.
I could tell you for sure, like we mentioned before, the name. I think the name really just stands out. And you really kind of broke it down.
Yeah.
Really easy. Taco, fast food, avocat.
Yeah.
Freaking classy.
Yes. And it is fast. We're going to have 10-second orders. We're going to have apps you can order on. We're going to have all these things.
That's awesome.
Get it to the people.
That's really what people
catering.
that's what really people are looking for right now. And I think for you to offer that, especially in the area that you're at, I mean, you're hitting traffic, right? 5 o'clock, cars are just jammed there.
Yeah.
Just pull in for some
We got to
food.
get them to come in. Yes, come on in. Yes.
But that's awesome.
We're getting more every week, so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So as far as your marketing, where can people find you? Where are you guys on
right now?
Social media?
Right. So our only website is TacoAvocatElPaso.com, and we have the other ones ready to go. We're just not ready for that expansion. And then we have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but we're mostly on Instagram. We're trying to grow our Instagram, which is why the vegan, the Google searches and the Instagram has really led me to believe that they are our next market.
Right.
And I'm going to service that market right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't sleep on anything. I freaking can't sleep on anything. So if I have work to do, if I have an idea, if I have a little challenge, I'm on it, and I love
awesome.
it. Yes.
That's really cool. So talk to me a little bit about that social media. What kind of advantage do you feel like you have right now with the social media platform at your fingertips?
I don't know, man. That's not my area. I farm that out to everyone, and I'll give credit to Victor. I had a bunch of bad experiences with social media people.
Did you?
People would not follow through. They would not create good stuff. So we went and got a company laptop, and Victor pretty much makes sure it's done right now. He created a lot of content, and then now we have someone from the City Magazine who we've paired with, and they've been awesome to us, Joe and Bianca, and Bianca works with us, and she's taken over the social media now, and she's doing a great job. And we got free tickets for the Rhinos.
Oh, that's cool.
So anyone wants to go to the Rhinos game, you come eat our tacos and grab some free tickets, and then go down to the Rhinos game. And they're in town next week. That's the end of their season. Then they're in the playoffs, and they won it last year. So we have a really good hockey team, really high level. You guys see fights, you guys see cool ass shit, and it's right here in El Paso. And
I've never been to a damn hockey game.
Exactly, and you'll love it. I swear.
You got tickets?
Yeah, and you'll go freeze your ass off and get young as you sit there, because shivering's healthy for you. So,
tell me why. I'm like I don't want to be cold.
I know.
Miami spoiled me, you know?
So we got to build these disciplines. We got to get used to the cold. We got to get used to discomfort. And that's kind of what yoga does, right? With that hot yoga.
Yeah.
Puts you in a severe discomfort.
Yeah,
so the cold can do the same.
You're freaking breathing and
the cold can do the same.
Right.
So it's super healthy. It burns fat. Just being cold burns fat. That shivering. Yeah, and you won't shiver at the game. You come bundled. I'm just saying that it's a cool thing where you can go when it's 100 degrees out and watch a hockey game in the middle of the desert, and it's high level hockey, and they're the defending champs.
Where are the games at?
It's at the event center right next to the Coliseum. It's in the same parking.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And you played hockey, right?
I play hockey. Victor played for the Junior Rhinos. I played roller and ice. Long time. I play high level hockey I can find, and we have high level hockey here, and I'm not the best by any means, but I love getting out there. It's fun as hell.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Now, one question that I kind of, not to get too personal, but I really just get interested in it, just seeing and meeting a bunch of entrepreneurs like yourself. Obviously, you have a lot on your plate, right? With the business and everything.
Right.
And you've gone on a lot of really cool experiences and journeys that I think have helped you kind of get to this point where you have exactly what you have, you know? But another thing that you also have is a family. You also have a wife and the three girls, right?
The wife's gone. I got 3 girls now, and that's okay. She couldn't handle the craziness, honestly. And if I went crazy, I'm sorry, but this is who I am now.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me happy, and my daughters accept it. And they're
awesome.
so happy. Like, truthfully, I live in a storage facility right now, and it's not bad. Like, don't think it's bad. It's not like I'm living in the. But anyways, my daughters think it's like the Taj Mahal. They fucking love it, dude. And
home is where you make it, right?
Exactly. And I was really scared to show them, and it was this whole acceptance. I didn't realize, like, I want to say I didn't need it, but that's all I needed. Right. And it's from them. And
that's all you needed.
When I went down this road and there were certain hurdles that I couldn't avoid, the thing that kept me going is my daughters will see my best self. That's awesome. What I told myself. That's really cool. And I think it's here, and I hope everyone loves it, but we're all imperfect, and just accept each other and work together. And
definitely.
You know, but no, that's the hardest part right now, and getting time with them and letting it be enjoyable.
Right.
You know, we talked about that flow state when time ceased to exist. When I'm deprived of that with my daughters, it weighs on me, and I'm realizing I need that weekly, not just bi-weekly or whatever. It worked out, and then I get them a lot, so that's who awesome. I am, man. That's what I do.
That's awesome, man. And that's cool that you, I think, have been at this stage, because there's a lot of businesses that, you know, it's a one-man show behind the table. It's the owner.
This couldn't be. It was too big. It was too big, yes.
Yeah, so, and that's really cool that you've been able to, just 3 months in, already have the team that you feel is
been tested.
A perfect fit, right?
Yes, it's already a family. We've been tested. We've already had fights, and we're done with them, and now we just love life. And we all agreed to it, we committed, we moved forward, and we're so happy.
That's awesome.
Yes, and they're kicking butt. Yeah.
That's cool. What is one piece of advice you would give to any entrepreneur out there thinking of, you know, taking that leap and starting their own business? Or
so you'll tell yourself it'll be the hardest thing you'll ever do, and as you go through it, it'll be the hardest thing you ever do, and then at the end it'll still be harder than you ever thought possible, and that's been the story. And then, so if it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger. That's going to entrepreneurship, and that's all you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're still not out of the woodwork. We still need this thing to succeed. And but there's no stopping us. We won't. We have a million different ways, and just like the vegan products I'd never seen coming, we'll bring whatever needs to make this location, because it's a great location.
Yeah,
you guys. It's great branding, and we just need the product and the people to be perfect, and that's where we're at with it.
And you're gonna start seeing it too. I mean, once you know, all these streets start opening up, once traffic starts to decongest, and a lot more businesses start to open up there. because a lot of people are still unaware of a lot of locations there, and they're going past Joe Battle to look for some food,
Well, and no one knows what we do, so the name does confuse people, and it's a teaching moment, and I'm realizing, we got to break habits and then teach them. And they don't know how they can use our product. That's why I like to tell people you can make your own sauces, you can just use the sauces, you can eat vegan, you can eat vegetarian. I'm going to have little answer keys to show all that. Eventually I have menu pathways that eliminate anything you wouldn't want. We have all the software ready, and it's coming, and some guy said fresh lemons. I'll get you lemons right away. Like,
yes, sir.
Simple, not a fucking problem, you know what I mean? Just enjoy what you have, and the rest is coming, I promise you.
That's fucking cool. And I'm really happy that you are really listening to the people.
Yes, and watch it evolve. I want you to go eat there, and then go eat there 2 weeks later and see my menu design.
Well, I'm telling you, I was there the first week. I was like, there's some, I'm just excited to see what it was.
Yeah.
And looking at the menu, I ended up getting the fries and I think the chips and the guac.
And the guac. Yeah.
But the fries, the sweet potato fries, right?
Yes. And no one does that, and you can't buy them out of a bag. And even if ours are dried, and you can't buy them out of a bag that are fried in avocado with pink salt as fresh and as much love as ours. I swear it's like a processed. Any chip out of a bag is just crap, and I cannot explain why. But ours are homemade and they're amazing, and people love them. And we'll get a bad comment about salt, and we had a kid that was over salting, and we get on it. We're figuring it out. We're listening. It won't be perfect, and if it's not, go back to Victor and tell him. Go to me and tell me. We will fix your meal. We will fix it. Please, everyone, we're here.
Every experience matters, right? And that's where it comes back to your marketing is not only on social, but really word of mouth and focusing on making sure everyone has that great experience.
We had, when the City Magazine gave us a little boost on social, it was nice, but then since then, it's been word of mouth. Where'd you hear about us? People are talking, and I love that. It makes me so, because that's when we've won. I'm trying to get the word out to get people in. But we just want people to love and talking about our food. Yeah. And then, like I said, I was a dad. I know how it is to cook all day for a kid's party and not get to enjoy the party. Our food fits there. Don't throw down pizza. Don't get a million orders for your kids of burgers. Our product fits into every lineup. You can literally take a bunch of tacos and dips, throw them on the table for your kids, and say,
who doesn't like tacos?
Exactly.
Guac here.
Yes. Even little kids. I see moms grabbing 9-packs, throwing tacos to their kids. I'm like, yes, you get it. You know what I mean?
Get them tacos.
Yeah, they'll be a happier kid too. You give that kid pizza, he's angry. You know what I mean?
He's pissed off, throwing shit.
Exactly.
Literally shit.
Give him a taco, man.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. So, one of the questions that I kind of like to wrap up podcasts with is obviously being here in El Paso. You and I share the same love for the city. We're seeing it grow right now, and it's just amazing to see where this city's going. So, talking about El Paso, what are some of your favorite places to eat, and feel free to throw in your plug here. Right. 2, hang out, and 3, if you're out to celebrate, maybe have a drink or something. Obviously, you don't drink, so let's maybe say the nicest dinner.
Well, I drink sometimes.
Okay, so let's throw that question back in.
I drink to have fun. But, so when I left in that whole California, I thought I was going to build it out in California. I thought that
I could see this in California. When you were talking franchise.
That's what I thought. And after riding up and down the coast all summer, I realized, one of you said this, right, but I realized how thankful and how much I loved El Paso. Yeah. I'd been here. I grew up in Michigan, right outside Detroit. I'd been here on and off a little bit as a kid, and I moved to here as an adult to learn to fly planes. And I realized how everything I wanted was here. A growing city, good, happy people, lots of sunshine.
The people here in this city are the best.
Yes.
You don't get that anywhere you go.
I love El Paso. Yeah. And so I had 3 daughters here, and it's just everything made sense to be here with it. And we mentioned a growing city. Yeah. Like, when else? My grandpa was the entrepreneur when I was a kid, and he's gone, but he passed that on to me, I think. And I said, when else would I be in a growing city like this? Right. Never. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I wanted to build it here. I love it here. I love the Chihuahuas. I love everything going on in the city. Drink, I don't know. I think me and my buddy Victor, we popped into Kona a couple times.
Kona's super fun, huh?
Yeah.
Some sake?
Whatever, just
just whatever.
Dressed up and pretty women. So I like that place.
And what about to eat?
I mean, mine's the best
there you
food,
go. No, honestly, I'm fucking excited to go next week.
If I'm gonna name Mexican places, I'm gonna say Julio's is pretty fucking
Julio's.
good. When my family comes and they want it, I take them there. Probably.
Yeah.
So that I gotta throw props to them. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's the place.
Do you plan on introducing anything other than tacos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of ideas, but the tacos. Well, like we have that side. We had another side we teased out, and everyone wants them. We get people showing up daily asking for wedges. And what the wedges are is they're ground up friggin' chips,
okay,
coated with a little egg and coconut flour and deep fried avocado slices. And they're amazing, but they're a logistical nightmare. We can't make them profitable at the moment. And we're trying.
Avocado's expensive, right?
Well, it's everything about it. They burn. We're having a lot of issues with them. So we're sorry if you've seen those. But we have 2 other products coming sooner, and that's the kind of stuff we'll get to. They're going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the taco and dip is so versatile. People don't see how versatile it is yet. Give us some time with it. And you're going to see how versatile it is.
And it's fucking convenient. You can drive and eat that.
And then, again, it's the oil. All deep frying is you drop it, it seals, it steams, it's a cooked product. There's nothing wrong with deep frying. It's the bad oils.
Right.
Try our product. See how you feel. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I'm really excited for next week. You got me literally counting down.
They're there cooking it tomorrow morning, so now the pressure's on them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the pressure's on because this is coming up Wednesday.
Exactly.
So
I told them.
Will these be ready to go?
It's gonna be close.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna be really close. I think so.
We'll definitely hang out there. Maybe we could announce the release of the podcast there while we try some.
That's Plan A.
Yeah.
All right.
Plan A. Plan B, possibly, but. Definitely excited for you to be on. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know
Thanks
you're
for having
busy,
me.
man.
I love podcasts.
Yeah.
Listening, flying in the metal box. I flew in the metal box, listening to podcasts as long as I could, and then I got out of the box and into the wild, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you mentioned also that you want to hop on a lot of different podcasts out here, right? Get that exposure out here too.
I like talking, and I like podcasts, and everyone wants to hear my story, I feel, and so I'll do that.
Yeah, Jake, you have a badass story, bro. We're really holding you to that. Like, invite us next time you go out to one of those spiritual journeys. That sounds super,
right on,
just intense.
Love it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, make sure you guys tune in every Wednesday where we have entrepreneurs, influencers, movers, and shakers, just like Jake here. Make sure you guys tune in next Wednesday to check out his entire episode. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.